Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elijah Harrison. I'm an opportunity navigator with UVA's Pipelines and Pathways program. And today I'm going to be facilitating a workshop on resume building, how to craft a standout resume. And this is to help prepare individuals for the UVA Career and Community Fair coming up in October 7th at the Hillsdale Conference Center from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And I'll leave some more details in the description. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. All right. So crafting your one-page resume, clean, clear, and impactful. Transform your experience into a sharp one-page resume tailored for employers you'll meet at the UVA Career and Community Fair on October 7th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Hillsdale Conference Center. This practical guides walk you through format, keywords, and quick polish so you can make an immediate, memorable first impression at the fair. I would like to emphasize one page. I think it's important to have a one-page resume as it keeps things concise. And, a lot of people are worried about having too much work experience or certifications, skills. But when you're really trying to tailor a resume to a specific job, the relevant information is what you should be putting in that resume. Thus, it makes it more concise. So, let me go to the next slide. Here we go. So why one page? I kind of just touched on it, but here we have the modern hiring landscape demands efficiency. So when your resume lands in front of a hiring manager or recruiter, you have mere seconds to make an impression. This is very true, especially for jobs with hundreds of applications or applicants. Hiring managers spend just 10 to 30 seconds per resume on initial review. So clarity and conciseness wins. One page forces strategic focus on your most relevant skills and achievements. And ATS-friendly applicant tracking system, which some employers utilize, keeps it clean, concise formatting, which improves the chances of passing the automated screening systems. So yes, one page makes a difference. So chapter 1, the foundation, format, and fonts. So I personally use Microsoft Word to create my resumes for a lot of my clients, and you can use Google Docs. There's also templates online that you can find, but I find that Microsoft Word works best for me. You want to use 1-inch margins or slightly less to fit the content, and maintaining consistent spacing between sections to create visual hierarchy. And I'll show an example here in a few. When it comes to font selection, choosing a simple readable font such as Arial, Calibri, or Times New Roman are the top 3 fonts, I would say. And then when it comes to font sizing, you want your name to be bold. Sorry, I'm trying to move this thing. Okay. When it comes to font sizing, you want your name to be bold and slightly larger in font size than the remaining content in your resume. That's to have your name stand out, of course. So 14-point bold, or maybe 13 or 12, with the heading a little slightly, such as your professional summary, slightly smaller or 1 point smaller than the name. And then the body text can be anywhere from 10 to 12 points, but you also want that to be slightly smaller than the professional summary and the name. Now, this doesn't have to be exact. You do it your way, whatever looks best to you. And then styling restraint avoids multiple fonts or excessive bold, italics. Use formatting strategically to highlight key information rather than decoratively. Unless, of course, you're applying to a graphic designer position, why not showcase some of your skills with your resume? I would say for most jobs, though, you want to keep it clean, concise, and simple, straight to the point. Chapter 2, section order and content priorities. So you'll have your name first, then you'll have a header, which has your professional title, your contact information, maybe a LinkedIn link, your city, state. You don't have to put your home address, but you definitely want to put the city and state that you're residing in so that the employers know that, hey, this individual is actually coming from this place, so they may have to move. Email, phone, contact information. Next, you'll have the summary and objective. So 2 to 3 concise lines that highlight your professional value proposition. You want to utilize the keywords in the job description to showcase why you possess the relevant skills to the position. We'll go into more details on that here shortly. I'm going to show you all an example of a resume template and then the resume content. Skills is typically what follows next, and these are technical and soft skills. Technical skills are things like Microsoft Suite proficiency, Canvas proficiency, PowerPoint, maybe some sort of software. And then soft skills are traits such as professional, gosh, why am I blanking on these? Traits such as communication skills, things of that nature. When I show the resume example, I'll have some soft skills shown. Experience is what you want to put next. So 2 to 3 of the most relevant roles in reverse chronological order with some impact statements. So what did you do during your time in this position? What impact did you make? And I'll go into more details on that when I show the resume example. And then, of course, your education. I would say, put your education and relevant degrees and certifications with minimal detail. You don't have to show which clubs and organizations you were in unless it is relevant to the position. Otherwise, I would just put your degrees and certifications. Chapter 3, writing impact statements. So you want to start with an action. Begin each bullet point with powerful action verbs. Achieved, led, developed, improved, streamlined, etc. So these are action verbs that allow the employer to visualize you in action when you were working at the organization. So follow this formula. You want to do action plus task plus result/impact and quantify when possible. So adding the number. So for example, streamlined customer onboarding process, reducing registration time by 35% and increasing conversion rates by 20%. So the quantifying is the percentages, and then the action is streamlined customer onboarding process. The task was reducing registration time and increasing conversion rates by 20%. So that was the impact. You want to be direct and concise, so avoid personal pronouns and narrative style. Focus on measurable contributions and outcomes. So you want to aim for 1 to 3 lines per bullet point. Some weak examples or a weak example. I was responsible for social media and helped grow our following. Weak. Strong example, increased social media engagement by 40% through targeted campaigns, growing follower base from 5K to 25K in 6 months. Now, what I really like about the two examples shown down here on the bottom is that a lot of us feel as though we don't have relevant experience to a job, when in reality we do. We have transferable skills and experiences, but sometimes it's difficult to pinpoint and articulate such. And this is just a great example. I feel like a lot of us would just be like, oh, I was responsible for social media and, helping to grow our following. But what did you really do? So it's good to really think deeply about that. And it definitely goes a long way if you're able to articulate it in a strong way. Chapter 4, tailoring keywords to job postings. This is very important because employers are looking for a specific candidate who possesses the skills and needs for that position. So keywords will show the employer, hey, this person can do the job. So extract keywords from the job description, and I'm going to show you all how to utilize AI to help facilitate this. But you really want to, you know, if you have technical skills that are in the job description, you must include those soft skills and competencies that they value, some of the industry-specific terminology and certifications. So just pay attention to the job description, see what they're looking for, visualize what that candidate looks like, and then visualize yourself being that candidate. You have transferable skills. Most of the people do in their previous experience. Even if it's an unrelated or a very different job, there are some tasks that you took on which uh, which demand certain skills. And those skills are transferable to most jobs. Natural integration. So you want to incorporate these keywords throughout your resume, weave them into your summary, your objective statement, include them in your skills section, embed them in your experience bullet points. We're going to use AI to help facilitate this, but I think it's really important for us to take a stab at it, and then utilizing AI to just refine. Balance and authenticity. Use industry acronyms appropriate for ATS compatibility, but avoid keyword stuffing. So your resume should read naturally to human viewers while still containing the right signals for automated systems. So when we do use AI to refine our resume, we want to be careful, and yeah, we want to go back and refine it ourselves because it is clearly going to be AI generated, not really going to be our words. So we want to add that human touch by going through and refining it for a second round, but this time without AI. Okay. Drafting and polishing with ChatGPT. Let me pull it up. Okay, so right here is a resume template. And if anyone is interested in this resume template, please send me an email and I'll email it to you. My email will be left in the description of this video. But simply, your name is going to be a 14 font or 14 font size. And here I use Aptos. Well, I don't want to actually. Aptos isn't a bad one, but Times New Roman is the more traditional font that I personally like. But it really is up to you. As long as you use one of the three that were, I think it was Arial, Calibri, and Times New Roman. So Aptos was not in there. But Aptos is, it's a very simple font. And you don't want anything crazy. You don't want Algerian. You don't want, you know, any of these fonts. You want it to be professional. And you want to include your city, your phone number, your email, your LinkedIn URL. If you don't have a LinkedIn, I would highly encourage creating one. And then if you have a website, include that as well. Professional summary was going to have 1 to 3 lines that match the job, who you are, core strengths, and the value you bring, utilizing keywords from the job description. Some of your core skills, experience, job title, projects, education, certifications, volunteer, leadership. And then the outcome should look a little something like this. We've got Jane Doe, who lives in Charlottesville. Jane Doe's professional summary is operations focused administrative professional with 5+ years streamlining workflows. Now, note the 5+ years. You want to have a number in your professional summary, which whether it's how long you've been working in the industry, typically that's what it is. And coordinating cross-functional teams and elevating customer experience, known for turning messy processes into simple SOPs, analyzing data to drive decisions, and keeping projects on time and under budget. This is a great looking resume. We've got the core skills, so technical skills, which includes operations and office management, executive support, SOP development, scheduling and calendars, vendor coordination, etc. I don't see. I mean, customer service is a soft skill, but a lot of these are technical or hard skills. Then we have the experience. You want the experience to be relevant to the job. If you don't have any relevant work experience, you're going to have to put the work experience regardless. But like I said, there are transferable skills in pretty much every job. So you just got to think about it. Then we have the education, minor and business coursework, certifications, projects, volunteer. So this is a good resume. Jane Doe wants to apply to this position at the University of Virginia, graduate program manager. Now, I would say the only issue is there isn't a lot of keywords. I mean, there are some, but there could be more keywords within this job description in their resume. So key responsibilities include academic advising, academic program management, student programming, and event planning. So Jane Doe has experience with working as an operations coordinator, where Jane managed calendars, travel, and meeting logistics for 3 directors. So that can serve as, in some capacity, there are transferable skills for academic advising in this, academic program management, as well as you are managing the travel and meeting logistics for 3 directors. You see what I mean here? It's just the way you word it. But I'm going to use AI to kind of give me a foundation for the keywords utilized or just having keywords in the resume from the job description. So everyone's familiar, I hope, at this point with chatgpt.com. It is a free website. It is an AI website, and we are going to utilize it to tailor this resume to the graduate program manager position. So what I'm going to do is ask ChatGPT to please tailor, oh my goodness, everything backwards. Please tailor this resume. Another thing to note with ChatGPT is how to enter to the next line, because when you click on enter in the keyboard, it will automatically submit whatever it is you put in here. So to enter to the next line, you hold Shift on your keyboard and then click enter, and it will create that space for you. And you want a little bit of space here. So tailor this resume, colon, and I'm going to highlight everything, including, everything in the resume. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to paste it here. It doesn't need to look pretty. We just need the data. So please tailor this resume. And then we have a line down here to this job, colon. And then I'm going to go over to the application and highlight the entirety of the job description. And I'm going to paste it in here and then click enter. Certainly, here's a tailored version. So what it creates is a resume that highlights. Oh. That highlights some of the job description language. So as opposed to the professional summary saying operations focused administrative professional with 5+ years, streamlining workflows, coordinating cross-functional teams, blah, blah, blah. Now it says operations and program management professional with 5+ years of experience supporting teams, coordinating workflows, and enhancing student and customer experiences. Notice how it says student here. That's important. That's a key word. Customer experiences, keyword, proven track record of building streamlined processes, managing complex scheduling, facilitating cross-functional collaboration, and using data to track progress and improve outcomes. These are keywords: cross-functional collab, improving outcomes, skilled at event planning, advising, support, and policy implementation. Event planning is a keyword in the job description. So all in all, AI is a very good tool to generate a tailored resume. However, it is AI generated, and some organizations utilize ATS software that can detect such. So we want to give it that human touch. So I would advise individuals to go through. So what I typically do is I will highlight the output of the tailored resume, and I'll open up a Word doc. I'll paste it in, and it usually pastes all wonky. So I'm going to re-highlight everything in the Word doc. I'm going to change the font at first to 11. Okay, and you see the margins are really big. We need to narrow them so that way we can fit it into one page. So I'm going to go to the layout. I'm going to click on margins, and I'm going to click on narrow. So now we're getting a little bit more closer to a one pager. What I can also do is change the spacing to 1 and then removing space after paragraph. So now we're down to 2 pages. To get it into one page, we might have to decrease the font to 10 here and take out some of these core skills. Now, I would suggest, taking out skills that might be redundant within the resume. Or what you could do is ask ChatGPT to make it a little more concise to page. And it will do it for you. And one of the great things, if you notice here, course skills, the it the bullet points are not line by line, rather they are spaced out in one line and kind of go from as opposed to line by line, which is a waste of space. So we can, take this out and copy, paste this, unbold it. Yeah, almost to one page. See, instead of line by line, side by side. We are almost to one page. Volunteer, so projects and volunteer. So these are kind of put together. And then we can take out additional notes. And now we have it in one page. So that's pretty much it with the drafting and polishing with ChatGPT. So we had language enhancement, action verb upgrades, and then impact quantification, all with the help of AI. So you want to make sure that your one-page resume is clear, concise, and ready to impress, focusing on relevance, so every element should serve a purpose. If it doesn't directly support your candidacy for this specific position, then consider removing it. Customize every time. Your resume is not a static document, so every job you apply to, you should have a tailored resume for. It is going to make a difference. I know a lot of individuals tend to want to just have one resume and apply and apply and apply using that same resume, but you're missing an opportunity to utilize those keywords in the job description and implement them into your resume. The employers are going to look at that resume if you do tailor it to the job. Employers are going to look at it differently. They're going to see the keywords and they're going to visualize you in the position that they're hiring for. And then using technology as a tool. Using AI intelligently just to refine it, I would say it's a good tool to implement some of those keywords and skills, but you want it to be authentic. So going through it and making sure that everything is true and utilizing some of your own language, but keeping keywords will keep that authenticity for the resume. So that is pretty much it. Thank you for all of those watching, or that is how to craft a standout resume. And this is to help prepare people for the UVA Career and Community Fair coming up October 7th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Hillsdale Conference Center in Charlottesville, Virginia. I'll have more details below in the description of this video. We have two other workshops coming up. This one was pre-recorded due to some issues, but the next two workshops are acing the interview, tips and tricks. And this will be live September 17th from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And then professional image, making a lasting impression on October 1st from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Now, for whatever reason, we don't have a lot of people sign up. We will have a pre-recording similar to this one. At any rate, I look forward to seeing you all at the UVA Career and Community Fair on October 7th. And I look forward to seeing printed copies of your resume that you worked so hard on. And I'm hoping that this video will give you some tips and tricks to craft out that standout resume. Note that we will have 70 employers at the job fair. So if you know what type of work you're looking for, I would look into the organizations that will be hiring for positions that you are interested in and go above and beyond and tailor your resumes to specific roles that organizations are hiring for. So if you do your homework and you show up to this career fair prepared, having already applied with a tailored resume, and then showing up to that organization's table with the same resume in hand, with the keywords from the job description and your knowledge for that job prior to, the job fair, if you prepare yourself, you are going to stand out in front of those employers. They're going to be like, wow, this person did their homework. They have a tailored resume. They possess the skills. It's going to go a long way. So I would highly encourage you all to prepare ahead of time. We will have a list of some of the employers on our Facebook page who have already signed up. And if you see a organization of interest, look at what jobs they have on their listings. Go to their website, Google search it, find some jobs you're interested in, create that tailored resume and apply. And then when you go and see them at the job fair, you're going to wow them. So I hope this video helps you all. And I look forward to seeing you all at the job fair October 7th. Thank you.